Do you remember this shotgun? Quick safety check. The Hatsan MPA 12 gauge semi-auto tactical shotgun. Not a bad shotgun for the money. These have been out quite a while now. Basically a cheapo tactical shotgun. Pretty cool for the money. Under £500 here in the UK. Quite popular when they first come out because of the price. You know, these things would sort of get you into practical shotgun shooting for sort of half the price of a Benelli or something like that. You know, and they're not bad. You know, all right, they're not perfect, but not a bad shotgun for the money. You know, you've certainly got the look. It certainly looks good. I mean, this one is my own. It's slightly sort of customized. I mean, I've put the 9 round extension tube on it, so this basically makes it 9 plus 1, so it's a 10 shot. And I've just sort of put a side saddle on, and I put some grip tape in the these little grooves here just to add to traction. A few other little bits that I've done. Put this on, basically covering the emergency shell holder that's there. But basically, the Hatsan MPA, not a bad shotgun for the money. Oh yeah, and I did put a True Lock doorbuster on there just to add to its badassness. But yeah, not a bad shotgun for the money. But its major flaw was, and anyone who owns one, was the loading gate. What an absolute nightmare. Hatsan, you may as well have just put some teeth on that as well, just to help us shred our fingers, because that thing was an absolute nightmare to load in a competition condition against the clock. Just a nightmare, total nightmare. You basically got to hit this finger here for it to go down. If you hit it anywhere else, nothing happens. And it's spring loaded as well, and if you're fumbling with a shell with someone standing behind you with a shot timer, it just goes tits up, basically. In a nutshell, that's basically what happens. That was the number one worst thing about this shotgun. If they had designed something slightly better, like, I don't know, like on a Benelli, where it's just a simple sort of gate that drops down, this shotgun would have been even better than it is. You know, I'm not saying it's perfect, but anyway, that was its major flaw. But anyway, I'm waffling on a bit, because this video is not about the Hatsan MPA. It's about the eagerly awaited Hatsan Raider magazine fed shotgun. Basically, it's a Hatsan MPA that takes a magazine instead of the tubular magazine that you've got there. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll just leave that there for sort of reference. But this is basically the Hatsan Raider, eagerly awaited. And do you know what? It's not bad. It looks pretty damn cool, if you ask me. Pretty damn cool. Now let's throw out some specs and then we'll go into some detail about this. Now this one basically is weighing in at 8.6 pounds empty. It's available in 24, 26 and 28 inch barrels here in the UK. The barrel length on this one, by the way, is 24 inches, which is 610 millimeters. The overall length is 45 inches, which is 1140 millimeters. Okay, that is basically it. Magazines are available in 2, 5, 7 and 10 rounders. Okay, this is a 5 round magazine. Now what we'll do, we'll talk about the magazine first actually. Now I'm pretty impressed with the magazines. All steel construction, pretty tough. I had no problems with these. Obviously if you want a 10 rounder, it's going to be sort of twice as big at least. Them things are massive. I only happen to have a 5 rounder that I've got with this lone shotgun that I'm testing, because the 10 rounders weren't available at the time. So the magazines, yeah, got a polymer bottom on them. You know, not bad. You can strip these down as well and sort of clean them out if you need to. It's easy enough to do that. But yeah, the magazine's pretty cool. The rest of the shotgun is not bad at all. Now, like I said, it is basically a Hatsan MPA. You know, you can see the similarities there. The fore end is exactly the same. You know, the stock slightly different here and there. It's still got this emergency shell holder that you can see. You know, let me just move it closer. Your emergency shell holder there, because this shotgun is basically for military and police. That's what the market's sort of aimed at, I guess. Shouldn't say aim, but you know what I mean. The MPA had that. I've covered it up because it's not good if you're a lefty. Okay, it just leaves like a rectangular print in the side of your face. So as you can see, it would. Not so much on this one. I think they've lowered it down a little bit further. The MPA was a little bit nearer where your cheek could be. Well, that's how I got around it, being a lefty. I just covered it up just to make that a bit more comfortable on my cheek. But that's your emergency shell holder anyway, so they've not done away with that. I mean, I did sort of moan when I reviewed the MPA. You know, why don't they sort of supply you with like a plate that can just sort of clip on there, you know, so it's optional whether you leave that open or not, but that's something I moaned about anyway. But anyway, let's take it from the top, the Hatsan Raider. So taking it from the butt end or the recoil pad end, it is nice soft rubber, but it's a shame they literally just got it straight out of the moulder and screwed it on there, because it really don't look very good, does it? They could have at least put some nice sort of, you know, lines on there or something. I mean, the MPA is slightly better. I mean, look at that. Why didn't they use the same one off the MPA? It certainly looks better than this sort of thing that I could have made myself out of, you know, latex rubber or something. I mean, look at it. They're not even cleaned up the screw holes. I mean, come on, Hatsan, seriously? But anyway, full polymer stock. Obviously, it's well ambidextrous. Apart from that, pistol grip stock. Pretty much exactly the same as the MPA, just some slightly different sort of gripping there. Fore end, moving on to the fore end, exactly the same as the MPA, the Raider is. Got the polymer Picatinny rail sort of moulded in there. There's your vents for like your the gas system. That, like I mentioned earlier on the MPA, if you was to get one of these, definitely worth doing like what I've done on the MPA. See those sort of indents there, and underneath I sort of threw on some grip tape there, skateboard grip tape. No, I'm not a skateboarder, by the way, but that just adds to traction. I mean, I'm sort of talking about customization here, and this shotgun's only just sort of landed in the UK, but that's what I'd do with it anyway if I was to get one. The barrel is basically chrome plated barrel to stop oxidization. Up to you and me, it ain't gonna rust, so they say. Comes with a load of different chokes, basically. Let me just get you the box. Comes with sort of every choke you need. And what is pretty cool, by the way, is, which I found cool, is these sort of tubs that you get them in. I just love how they've threaded them. That look just, it's pretty cool. Or is that just me? I don't know. I find that pretty cool. Yeah, all your different chokes are supplied, which is good. No doorbuster though on the Hatsan Raider, or flash suppressor, whatever you want to call it. I think that is only on the European version, which is a shame. You can see it there. Same with the heat shield. It's a shame it's not sort of supplied with that. That is a bit of a downer if you ask me. We'll look closely at that in a minute. But yeah, that's basically your barrel, your chokes. Moving on to, let's talk about the sights. Now, ghost ring sights, fibre optic. Yeah, pretty cool. I'm a big fan of fibre optic sights. These are quite nice, actually, quite nice. Fibre optic on the front as well, post in a guarded, sort of polymer guarded, whatever you call it, polymer guard. And that's basically your sights, even front and rear sights. What I did on the MPA, I'm sort of just bouncing back to the MPA here. I didn't like the front sight on this, and do you know what? I can't remember whether it had a fibre optic. I don't think it did. I think it just had like a post front sight. Shooting steel with like a dark coloured post sight, a little bit problematic because it was hard to see. So I actually took the actual sight off it, and where it's just left with this metal block that's basically screwed to the barrel, I just used a bit of Mrs. RACKNLOAD's nail polish there, bright pink, just to sort of make it stand out against shooting sort of dark coloured steel. So, but anyway, that's, again, I'm sort of jumping into, you know, customizing it. But to be fair, on the Raider, it looks like they've, you know, the sights are pretty damn good, and they are, to be fair. They're pretty clear. I had no problems. I mean, I was shooting this thing sort of, you know, against a dark background, and it was pretty cool. It was working. They were working quite well. Now, moving along to the actual receiver of this shotgun. Aircraft aluminium, really tough, thick. You know, they've made this thing quite chunky. I mean, look how thick that is. It feels really quite good. You know, it feels solid. The shotgun feels solid. The whole thing feels pretty solid. And you know, it's all in a matte finish, same as the barrel, so it all sort of blends in, pretty much exactly the same as the MPA. So pretty damn cool. To load it, now let's sort of talk about loading it. Obviously, it's, you guys shoot, I'm not going to teach you how to suck eggs. Obviously, you load your magazine up, put your magazine in, make sure it's in, pull the charging handle back. If there was a round in there, you'd be able to release it, and it'd slide forward and chamber a shotgun cartridge. But obviously, it's an empty magazine that I've put in. It's basically stopping on the magazine. Okay, so last shot, bolt hold open, basically. That there is not your bolt release. Your bolt release here is here on the other side. It's basically, let me just spin this shotgun round. It's basically that there. Bit of a chunky affair, but it's quite good, you know, if you're using this for sort of PSG, tactical shotgun, 3-gun, whatever. It's quite chunky, easy to get at, even if you're wearing gloves. Basically, you just pull that thing, push it down, and your bolt will slide forward, like so. Okay, that is basically it. That there, like I said, isn't your bolt release, it's your magazine stop. So pretty much like on the MPA, on a lot of shotguns where you've got a mag stop, it basically, if you've got one in the tube basically, and you thought, oh, okay, I need a slug or a buckshot instead of this birdshot that I've got in, press that, rack it, and it will empty that cartridge, you know, out of the gun. And then you can basically, and even if you've got some in the magazine, you can just drop one in to the breech, be it a buck or a different load basically, and then recock it, and it won't double feed because the mag stop will have stopped the magazine only for that once. So you'd have to press it again if you was to do the same, and then obviously you can continue firing. So that's basically it. That's basically your loading. While we've got it loaded, I'll give the trigger a pull. Obviously it is clear. Let's give the trigger a pull, just see what it's pulling out of interest. Just got my trusty trigger pull gauge here. Let's give it a whirl. Okay, that was £6, 13 ounces. Okay, so we do that another one. We'll give it another one just for argument's sake. Let's give it another pull. I'll hold it a bit better this time. Okay. I pulled it a bit for, well, say £6 or £7. I mean, these things are never sort of really overly accurate. So £6 or £7 on the trigger pull. Trigger's not bad, to be honest. Giving you a closer look. I'm just knocking my camera about. Sorry, guys. Yeah, not a bad trigger. It feels like sort of aluminium. It's got like a bit of a knurling effect there, if you can see that. So a bit of grip on the trigger. Polymer trigger guard. I quite like that. Again, there's some sort of knurling pattern there. Crossbolt safety. Yep, I'm a fan of crossbolt safeties. And then moving forward, this is your mag release. I didn't mention that when I was on about loading. Basically press this here and then to release your magazine. Okay, magazines do click in quite positively, and they don't really rattle that much either in my scientific shake test. I mean, I've used a lot of mag-fed shotguns where you give them a shake test and that magazine's rattling round like a, I don't know, well, whatever. It's, you know, really rattling. What I will say for you guys that are, you know, you speed demons that are always against the clock when you're shooting, these magazines, whether it's a new thing, you know, obviously the gun, the rifle, brand new, they don't drop out. So I'm pressing the mag release now. No, it ain't dropping out, so you've got to pull that thing. That will, I would imagine, improve over time, you know, wear and tear. They will drop out, you know, and that's what you pretty much want to sort of do your fast reloads. So that's worth noting. But I'm sure you guys will probably get some like emery paper or something just to file the mags and make this thing super slick, I'm sure. So that's your loading, your magazine, your mag release. I did obviously mention the sights. Basically the rear one is mounted on this Picatinny rail, so you can throw on optic if you want to. Whether you would, depends whether you know, you're going to be using this for like hunting or whatever. Depends, you know, where you basically live. If you're sort of doing some hog hunting or whatever with slug, you probably will want to throw an optic on, possibly. Okay then, so moving along to the takedown nut. Yeah, aluminium takedown nut, quite nice actually, sort of nice pattern on there. I like that, that's pretty cool. Let's just move the MPA out of the way and we can sort of just basically field strip this. So obviously make sure she's safe. Okay, and then basically undo the takedown nut there. Like I said, that's aluminium. That feels quite nice actually. And I'm going to try not to get my table all oily. So there's your fore end, and then basically he says, I always fail doing this on camera. I don't know why I do it. I should just sort of show you guys photographs, but I still just like to make myself fail on camera. Let's put that there so we don't get oil everywhere. So there's your barrel basically. Still a little bit dirty in there. I best give this a clean before it goes back. That's your barrel. 12 gauge, like I said, available in 20 as well. I believe in parts of Europe and no doubt the US you'll be able to get slug barrels as well. Well, you can get slug barrels, so obviously not here in the UK. And there is your piston. Okay, your smart valve system, I think that's what they call it. Basically you can use whatever shells in this, low power, high power. And what we sort of talk about that, I did use basically different flavour shells from sort of birdshot, buckshot. I didn't run any slug, I've run out of slug, so sorry guys. But I used some heavy buckshot, as you can see in the video, and this thing did not miss a beat. I put around 400 shells through this and it did not choke once, and that was low power stuff, low power birdshot, just cheapo birdshot and heavy buckshot and heavy sort of hunting birdshot. Did not miss a beat. It ran 100% with me. It didn't really get mega dirty either, so you know, that is pretty cool. But that basically is your field strip. Put it back together. I mean, it's probably worth sort of watching my Hatsan MPA video. I'll throw a link into that sort of at the end of this video. Worth looking at that, because I sort of talk about a lot of the things that are very, very similar to this shotgun, because they are pretty much the same really, just obviously one's tubular fed, one's magazine fed. But I've got to say guys, I am impressed with the Hatsan Raider. I am impressed with it. Running around £700 here in the UK, give or take. Follow the link in the details of the video. Not a bad price for a shotgun, probably sort of easily sort of out there with the competition as far as price goes. So yeah, I think it'll do well. I really do. It's definitely a nice looking shotgun, and it's certainly reliable. There's been a few box fed shotguns out there that have been a little bit problematic, but you know, it is what it is. But I think the Raider is a nice looking shotgun. Now, what do you get in the box? Basically, I'll show you the box. Well, that's your box. Nothing sort of amazing about the box. Obviously, you get the gun. You get 2 magazines that it's supplied with. I believe you get a 5-rounder and a 10-rounder. You get the rubber sort of stop that goes on the charging handle. I mainly put those on just for storage more than anything. Obviously you get your chokes. I've showed you your chokes. Your manual is not bad actually. Really not bad, to be fair. Apart from it's in black and white, but I've got to moan about something. Gives you some nice sort of diagrams, some photographs. Basically tells you what everything is. You know, shot shell ramp retaining latch, or mag stop. That's what I'd call it. Nice exploded diagrams, so for you guys that like to strip them down. Even the mags shows you how to strip them down, all the exploded diagrams. I like to see that in manuals now, exploded diagrams. It's quite a cool thing. Obviously all your do's and don'ts and all your technical info, and obviously how to fire it. And then there's some pretty nice photographs, apart from they're in black and white. It would be nice if this was a glossy coloured jobby, but never mind. How to field strip, how to sort of basically maintain it, and all that good stuff. Take the stock off. You can put shims in. It is supplied, by the way, with shims, so you can sort of extend the length of pulse slightly, you know, and basically adjust it accordingly to yourself. And there's sort of how to field strip. I mean, I showed you a quick field strip, but obviously to drop the trigger mech out, not a problem. It's just basically hit those 2 pins there, and the trigger mech will come out as well. So that is it guys. I think I've basically covered everything. Not a bad shotgun, the Hatsan Raider semi-auto. Like I said, pretty damn reliable. It ran 100% with me. It's just a shame that the UK version doesn't come with that heat shield, because that does make it look cool, and it doesn't come with that muzzle device, which is a bit of a shame. I mean, like the Revo's come with those, you know, the cheapo Revos come with like a muzzle device on them. I mean, I was kind of hoping to throw on my True Lock doorbuster or breacher choke that I've got on the MPA, but for some reason, and I don't know why, it just doesn't fit. Whether they've changed the threads, I don't know, it just does not fit for some reason, which is a shame. I was hoping to use that because it would have certainly have helped in the testing of this thing, because some of the rounds that I was using in this shotgun, it was making it jump a little bit. It was that barrel was going up in the air just a little bit. It was it's quite fierce actually, but nevertheless it was good fun. My shoulder's recovered now anyway. Anyway guys, that is it. That is your rack and load review of the Hatsan Raider, the eagerly awaited Hatsan Raider. Make sure you subscribe, it keeps me going doing these videos guys. Thanks for watching, that's Rack and Load. See ya, safe shooting.